What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So by the title of today's video, you know what we're going to be talking about. It is, well, in my opinion, one of the biggest trades in, the recent years in the NBA, because it involves my San Antonio Spurs, or as I should say, the team I follow the most, the San Antonio Spurs. And really, we're just going to break down this trade and see who actually really benefited from it the most. And I know it sounds silly and all that, but I think people really underrate what the Spurs got back in this trade. And when the deal really went through, it was kind of like, oh, well, the Spurs lost automatically just because we lost, the biggest piece in our franchise, which was Kawhi Leonard. And then we also lost another solid piece in Danny Green. But in reality, guys, I really don't think the Spurs did a bad job on this trade. And, it might be the bias of, me being a San Antonio fan and all that. I get it. But when you really break it down and you see what we got in this trade, and you start seeing what other teams get for other players, I think we actually did a pretty good job, especially with it. Let's just break it down before I start going into everything. So in 2018, the summer of 2018, Kawhi Leonard wanted to leave the Spurs for whatever reason. I'm over it. It's kind of like a bad breakup. You get over it. It happens. You go see him succeed somewhere else and all that. But he wanted to leave the Spurs, and the Spurs were taking offers from literally everybody. I heard Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown was an option. I heard just a lot of young players that showed a lot of promise throughout that 2018 season. They were main talking points for getting Kawhi Leonard, because he was such a generational talent. He's already proved himself as a great playoff performer with the 2014 Finals MVP. And we wanted to get the right deal. We really did. And I think they did, honestly. We could have gotten Tatum, Brown, but I don't think they were really going to sell Tatum to us. I think that was the problem. I think they were more interested in Brown and Kawhi, which would have been cool too. But what we got was, I think, a lot better, and we're just going to break it down right now. So Toronto got Kawhi and Danny Green, obviously. And then for the Spurs, we got DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, and then I believe it was their 2019 first-round pick. So to break it completely down, Raptors, when they got Kawhi and Danny Green, it kind of made them like a, not a, like, for sure, like, going to be in the finals contender, but it made them a dark horse because, it gave them that superstar that they needed. He did a little bit more than DeMar on the defensive end, and he would, he could get any shot he wanted on the offensive end. That's just how Kawhi is. He's still that way to this day. But, Danny Green also being a key piece in the 2014 run. He knows how to, make a playoff run, be in the finals, be a big part of the finals. So it made them a contender. And the biggest what if of this trade for Kawhi was, is he going to stay with Toronto? Is he not? And when they won the title in 2019, it kind of looked like he was, You just won a title, you just, beat Giannis, you beat Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and the 76ers. And so it was looking like he was going to stay. And if he did, I believe we would be talking about this trade a little bit more differently right now, because then you get Kawhi Leonard for however more years he signed with the Clippers, which I believe is like 3, and then a player option on the 4th year. But he did it, and he left. And this is where I say, the Spurs didn't make a terrible decision, because no matter what, he wanted out of SA. And so it was smart of the Spurs to get rid of him and get some pieces back just so we can build off of it. Because if we would have let him walk in free agency for just nothing, then that's a complete waste. But, he left Toronto, went to LA, got his money, got to live where he wanted to live and all that. And so that just really brings it to where the Spurs, what the Spurs did with what they got. So what we did is we got DeMar DeRozan. He's going to play DeMar DeRozan basketball. He has that great mid-range. And the even better thing is DeMar's developing that three-point shot. I don't know how many people have been watching Spurs games or, who's all tuned in. But DeMar DeRozan is a little bit more comfortable with that three-point shot, and he's a little bit more comfortable with just letting it fly when he wants now. And he's just great at picking his spots on the floor, getting there and, getting a shot up. Defensively, he's not as good as Kawhi, but he's not bad either. So, I'll take that. And me and my friends always say it, if we didn't have DeMar on this team, the young guys wouldn't have a very good veteran to learn from, a very good, all-star caliber player to learn from. Because, no offense to LA, but LaMarcus is just not it right now. He's just not doing the greatest of things. He's still part of the team, so we're going to appreciate him, but he wasn't that veteran that can just teach these young guys how to be a dog, how to go out there and just get it every night. And that's DeMar, really. That's DeMar. And it goes into, more than just what does he put on the stat sheet? What does he, do night in and night out? Because that is a big part of it, but it's also what does he bring to the culture? What does he bring to, the young guys on the team, and what does he expose to them? And really, he just exposes like how much of a tough person he is. He's a dog. He's going to go out there and get it every night. If he has a rough night, he's going to shake it off. He's not going to let it drain him. And, it's important for our young guys to learn that, just so when they can, start hitting their prime, they know what steps to take and all that. And so DeMar was the really big piece in this trade that we got back. And, I'm happy with him. I really do like DeMar DeRozan. I think he's a great player. And I hope, if it's not with us, I hope he goes and gets a championship ring with another team soon. Let's get to the other pieces in this trade. Jakob Poeltl. So Jakob Poeltl has, shown flashes on the offensive end, but he's not really an offensive weapon right now. He's developing it. He's just got to, learn how to be more mobile on the court, trying to stretch the floor. He hit his longest shot of his career, I believe, like last week. And it was literally funny because his jump shot is just so weird, but it went in, and it's kind of makes you happy to see that he's working on that as well. But on the defensive end, we call him Block of Poeltl because he's going to be that rim protector for us. He's going to sit there. He gets dunked on. It doesn't matter. Move on to the next one. And that's what I like about Jakob. He's going to consistently be that rim protector for the Spurs when he's on the floor. And, he's a great screen and roll threat as well, because he has very good finishing around the rim. I will give him that. The biggest one that I think this is what puts it over the top as, maybe we didn't win the trade, but we definitely didn't lose the trade, is that first round pick that we got from Toronto that turned into Keldon Johnson. I really think this guy's going to be the next, Spurs all-star. He's really going to get it going. In his second year, he's averaging about 30 minutes a game. You don't see that from the Spurs often. You don't see the young guys getting that many minutes a game. So that just proves to you this guy's a baller. He's going to go out there. He's going to give you effort. His defense is, pretty solid. I know there's a clip out there where he was guarding Luka before the lockdown last season. And, man, he had clamps on Luka, and that was just, exciting to see. And, this season, he's just picked up his scoring. He's picked up his attacking on the rim. He's letting the three fly a little bit more comfortably. And it's his second season. And, with Keldon becoming a Spur with that Toronto pick, I really think that's what keeps it at the, the Spurs didn't really lose the trade. Did we win it? I don't know. We're going to see how much he improves in the future, because right now he looks terrific. And, sky's the limit. Spurs know how to get the most out of their players, get the best growth out of their players. For example, DeJounte Murray, 29th pick in, I believe, the 2017 draft. He's turned into a great piece. He's our starting point guard. 4 years, $41 million is his deal. One of the best contracts in the NBA, I believe. And, he does his thing night in, night out. Lonnie was another pick that slipped to us. I believe we took him at 11th or, 13th in the 2018 draft. And, he's starting to look like a player. He's a little inconsistent, but, he's starting to look like a player that we can use in the future, whether it's off the bench or, our starting role. And then Keldon in 2019 was the big pick. This year, he's averaging 14, about 15 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, and 2 assists. His PAR is 15.9. And, you know, from a young player, second year in the system, that's great. You like to see that. But it's more of the eye test. When you watch Keldon play and you watch him attack the rim, you can just tell he's just a natural-born hooper. And it makes you excited as a Spurs fan, honestly. When you see one of the young talents, especially that you got out of a trade, you know, trading one of your franchise players, come in and, you know, just show out like that automatically, second year in the league. You know, it's got a lot of promise to it. And I really think this is why I don't want to say we completely won the trade yet, is because, you know, it is his second year. We have to wait and see what he turns into. But right now, the sky's the limit for Keldon Johnson and this team. And like I said, you know, DeMar's there to just groom them, you know, teach them the winning ways, because a lot of people forget, but DeMar DeRozan was consistently in the playoffs. Yes, he got beat by LeBron, but I'm sorry, LeBron beats everybody, literally everybody. So I can't hold that against DeMar. And, you know, he's a great basketball player, but he's also a great leader. And that's what you need in the locker room, is a leader to lead these guys, show them the ropes, and, you know, just get them ready. Just get them ready for, you know, that NBA career that's, you know, long and tolling on the body. And yeah, that is what I wanted to talk about today, is just, you know, I don't think the Spurs lost this trade, but we're going to see if we actually won it in the coming years. And, you know, I'm glad we actually did the trade, because, you know, you see the Kawhi, you know, sitting out, resting, all this. Clippers didn't look good in the playoffs last year, but then again, it was a bubble, so I'm not going to hold it against anybody. You know, the bubble was a completely different experience, once-in-a-lifetime thing, probably. Actually, maybe not once in a lifetime. We might have to do it again this year. But, you know, we just didn't have to deal with a lot of the things that come with Kawhi, which is drama. Kawhi's got drama around him. And, you know, he did win that ship for Toronto in 2019. But now Kawhi and Danny are gone. And Toronto is not off to a great start this season. You know, it's looking on the up and up for the Spurs from this trade. And, you know, in the coming years, we're really going to see if we won this trade or not, because that piece in Keldon Johnson, we're going to see if Jakob can continue to improve his offensive game. And then DeMar, you know, at the end of I told my friend this, I believe yesterday, I want us to extend DeMar. I want DeMar to end his career as a Spur. Now, do I think we'll win a championship? No. And do I think he wants to win a championship? Yes. So I don't think, you know, in his personal interest, he wants to stay as a Spur, which I completely get. But if we get the opportunity to extend DeMar and keep him here, I would love to do that. He's just he's becoming one of my favorite players in the NBA, just in general, you know, not just because he's a Spurs player or anything like that. Just in general, he's a great guy. And, you know, he goes out and gives it his all every time he's on the court. And you got to love to see that. So, another thing, he doesn't take rest days, you know. So, I'm just saying, you know, a guy that doesn't take rest days, you got to like that. You got to like that in 2021, because there's a lot of guys out here doing that. There's a lot of guys out here taking days off. And, you know, I just like the basketball player that, you know, wants to go out there every day and wants to compete. And that's what we got in DeMar DeRozan. But, yeah, guys, I think that's going to do it for today's video. It's just, you know, something I got to get off my chest as a Spurs fan. You know, stop sleeping on us. We out here. We 11-9. You know, we like the 7th, 8th seed in the West right now. Stop sleeping on us. We here. We still here. 26 years. It's going to be 26 more. 26 more. What you got to say about that? Come on. But, yeah, like I always end the video, bring positive vibes, you know, love your neighbor. And, yeah, guys, SFL.